Hi, today I'm going to show you how to install this Olson scroll saw conversion kit onto my Ryobi 16-inch scroll saw. My name's Casey and this is Yacht Maker.
Welcome to Yacht Maker.
So I'm doing this because over the weekend I was making this super cool bear, and I like to use a spiral saw blade so that way I can do the nice tight corners and everything. I mean, you have to have a very small blade, straight blade, to be able to do that, and then you still may even have problems to get some of those curves and whatnot, especially when you get down to small little angles like that. I mean, those are pretty tiny. But after I snapped the blade, actually I didn't snap the, yeah, I did snap a blade. I went to go put a new one on, and I started running this issue where this just doesn't tighten anymore, and it started to strip. And I got around it for what I needed to do, just took another bolt and whatnot, screwed it on there. But that's where I decided to get this. Closer there. And I just got that off of Amazon. It was only like 25 bucks, I think. And it did have a list of models that it works with. I'll put a copy on the screen here so you can see it. Alright. And the Ryobi I have actually isn't listed on here, because the Ryobi I have is the SC165VS. Differences between the SC160 and the 165 that I can see is the 165VS has the variable speed, hence the VS, and it actually was, the 160 is for pinned blades only, whereas the 165 allows you to do pinned or pinless blades. But it looked like it was gonna work. So tools that I have right now, and if I need to grab anything else, I just have a Phillips and a flathead bit. I have my torque wrench, or my Torx, my whatever this is, Allen wrench. Allen, yes, Allen. Hi, Allen. So I can take the blades out and whatnot. And there you go. So let's go ahead and get started. So first thing, make sure your power is disconnected. And then we're going to take this, remove the blade from there, and I'm going to remove the blade from the bottom as well. Okay. And let's open this bad boy up. See if it's got any directions. I already watched the video, or the how to install it, but I just want to see the directions really quick too. Kind of show you what's in here as well. So this is an attachment that we can take and stick to the side of the deck here. This piece goes underneath, under the lower arm. This piece goes onto the upper arm. And it's actually multi-purpose, because you can use pinned or pinless blades with this. But that's this goes on the upper arm up here. This actually goes into the bottom, but it's kind of cool because it sits into this little carriage. That way you can put it in, you have something to tighten it down. And then once you have your blade in there, so your blade's going to sit in the slot like that. It tightens right here in the middle there. It tightens on the blade. And then that will come and sit under here like that. And then you put your tension on there, but it makes it so you can just drop it down and then add your tension. So we'll see how it works. We got a couple hex keys, nut, a bolt, spring washer, A couple flatheads with the coordinating bolts, a spacer, another kind of a lock washer. Well, very small. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see until a couple more days. What the camera sees, unfortunately. Let's take a look here. So I use to secure this to the side. Looks like I'll have to drill some holes in here if I can, and I may not be able to. I may have to do to the side of the housing over here to do that. Hopefully, I wish I could see on the side over here. So, all right. So the first thing we need to do is pull the old locking mechanisms off. And that's top one is actually very easy. Just one screw, one bolt. That comes off. Set that to the side. Take the new parts, put them back in their bin. And then to get to the bottom one, we're going to turn it on its side. And I'm going to remove these two screws, and that'll open up this side here so we can see it. If you have a different model, and it's going to be different, so remember, it's not going to be exactly the same as mine. Let's see if you have the exact same model. But it should still be pretty easy, and if you need help with it, please ask. I will do my best to assist. So there's the two, those, that. And let's see here. And I did provide, so the Allen wrench that came with it is only a straight Allen wrench, but this has two Allen wrenches, and one is the correct size. So now I can remove the bottom one. I was hoping this one was going to last me a while till I could get a better one, but not gonna happen, it looks like. And if you can hear my breathing, apologize for that as well. My allergies have been kicking my butt. Another turn or two. There we go. So then there's the bottom piece. And exactly the same as the top piece. Just gets mounted in the opposite direction. So this one probably would have failed too. Okay, so the bottom one gets attached with the toothed lock washer. So you go the bolt, tooth locked washer, that goes through here, and then that goes up underneath like that. So get this started by hand. Maybe. I don't want to cross set it, but it's going to go like that. So it's still going to hold it in about the same place as it was before. It just has this extra stuff underneath, and that's actually sitting at the bottom of its travel, so it's not going to hit. One thing I am seeing, and that might be just because that is not threaded in properly. I'm going to turn this more on the side. So I'm going to try the original. Yeah, they are different threads. The ones that came with the replacement pieces has a coarser thread, and the original one is a finer thread. So now I got that started, I'm just going to tighten this down. If I could get this out of the way, it'd make this a lot easier. Let me see if I can pull this front cover off easily. Actually, I'm not going to be able to. I can see. Let's see if I can get in there. Right back. Right back here, there's a thread sticking out. So there's something that's going all the way through. But this is might be a front cover. Now that I see it, that might be able to come off. There's the control board, and there's the rest of the screws. Let me slide this bad boy out. Remember, as long as you're unplugged, more than likely nothing's going to happen. I don't see any massive capacitors or anything like that. There's a fuse on here, so if for some reason it's plugged in and it just will not turn on, check that fuse. Let me zoom back out a little bit. Sorry. Okay. So this board was just slid in here. There's a couple slots for it to sit in. And then on the back side, I have 4 more screws back here. And then once I take those off, that should then release this whole green piece so I can get it out of the way. Because why would anything, I don't want to do that, be easy today. And sad thing is, this will still work. So if these don't fit on here, I'll still be able to use this machine, but only with the pinned blades. And my opinion, having the ability to use pinless blades, it opens up a lot of what you can do. There's a lot more pinned blades out there. Like these blades, probably will not be able to see this, but I will try. Try on the white here. So, as you can see, maybe here's one side of the blade, there's the other side of the blade, but there's no pins for it to hold into place, and it has to clamp. But what they've done is they took, so this one is a 2-watt blade, 48 teeth per inch, but it's twisted. And by them twisting it, it causes there to be blade, like sharp edges all the way around. So then it drops down to, from a 48 tooth per inch in any one direction, to this one, it could be as low as 12 teeth per inch on just one face. And it allows you, as you're cutting, you can go without rotating or turning your piece at all. You can just change your direction any direction you want to go. Saves a lot of time, a lot of effort. So, all right. So now that I can access the front here, so this gives me access right here. Now I can just come up and oops. I need 3 hands. So I'm just tightening this up. As it gets closer, I'm going to end up holding this in place to line it up. There we go. That was actually it. And we'll keep tightening that up some more. There we go. So that's going to hold that in place. That should be good. So now, I need to put it all back together. So I'll save you the pain, and we'll be done in 3, 2, 1. All right, so everything's back together. That's pretty easy. And now we just need to put the top back on. Or put the top on. To do the top, just use the regular lock washer. Wrong sized bolt. My original one barely fits in there, so I'm going to give it a try. What I should be doing is retapping these to the correct size. That would actually make it mow better, because then it would be able to fit properly. Another issue I just ran into is that's going on, but it's not going to go far enough down into it. And this needs to be able to close, and it's not. So that means when it opens, it's not going to sit right. So I am going to have to make some modifications to that to get that to work. And I should probably find my tap and die set to get the right pieces all working together here, because that just stripped that out super easy. This has got to be like aluminum or something. And that's the last thing that I want, is this thing stripping out on me and pieces going flying on me. So let me see what I can do about this. Don't have a grinding wheel. Okay, right, so I got this on. I had to cut off just a little piece, just a little sliver, not too much. And then got the new screw in there tapped. So that's holding nice and tight, not gonna go anywhere. And it's got probably 2 millimeters, 1/16 of an inch poking through the bottom, nice and tight. The bolts that it came with, they actually slide in the bottom, and then they just poke through, Like you drill a hole, but it's made so it's supposed to go on the side of your bed, so it's nice and easy to get to. Unfortunately, the lip on here isn't long enough, and I don't want to do it in the plastic, and I don't want to do it in the arm up here, even though I think the arm would be kind of cool. There's just not enough room with the amount that it sticks through. It'll get in the way of the arm movement. So I'm just going to put it on this bottom cover here, and I think that'll work just well. Just fine and dandy. Alright, so I'll see you when I have that done. Okay, so I have it attached to the side. I wasn't able to do what I was originally going to because the table's in the way. So I moves it back a little bit more. So now we take the bottom clamp piece that came with it, that sits in the tray. Take our blade, and it's got the little channel for it to ride in. Just push it back until you can go all the way till you hit the screw if you want. It's probably not going to hurt anything. I don't see why. And then while you're holding the blade and tightening, it holds that for you. Awesome. So nice and snug. There we go. There we go. So now, we take this, and let me see if we can get in here a little bit closer. Right here, this is where the bottom goes into. So you drop this down, go underneath it, make sure your tension's nice and loose, right? So that can come down. Can't see that though. There we go. So take the blade and drop it down underneath. We're going to take this side and spread that open a little bit. Actually, now I'm going to put it underneath it. I'm going to put this in here first. With one hand and hold it till where it goes up enough to stop on the bolt. Tighten this up. So normally, if you were to do it this way, you'd have an issue of the blade now not being at the correct angle, right? So we're going to drop that down so it's underneath in its hook, and we'll pull that out, and this can pivot, right? Kind of cool. So we're going to tighten that up a little bit more. Okay, that's good. And now we can tighten up our tensioner. So, let's plug it in and give it a test cut and see how it does. Yeah, nothing special. So I got the 1/4 inch Baltic birch plywood. There you go. Quick, easy. I like this, and I understand why it isn't made to fit my specific model, because mine should be able to do this without breaking, but it broke. But easy replacement for myself. Others might have some difficulty doing that, as it does require some modification. to your machine, or they might just be worried about modifying their machine, and that's definitely understandable. But as you saw, being able to use those pinless blades, yeah. Alright. Well, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and give it a thumbs up if you would please, for the YouTube algorithms, and especially if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, then give it a thumbs down. But I'm hoping you enjoyed it. So, alright, have a good one.